So what do?
I don't know.
What you've got to do is you've got to first step back, look and ask yourself the question, what more can I learn to make the difference? And this is where we really found that this book begins to fill the void of information. It's not the panacea, it's not the answer to everything, but I'm telling you, it's simple and it answers questions and it gives you tools that you can put in place and in effect right away.
Right. You know, and in here he also talks about how when we began to say our love is gone, our relationship is dead, we used to feel close, but now we don't. You know, that could possibly be that love tank feeling being empty.
Probably is. Because, you know, when the tank's full, you feel a little heavy with love. I'm just weighed down with the love experience. But you don't want to get if your tank is empty, you get light-footed, as people say. You got to tiptoe around.
That is hilarious. Oh, that is so funny. You know, could keeping your love tank full be the key to making a marriage work?
I believe it is. I really believe it is, because you're going to see later on in the book, it's going to give you the selfless experience in the relationship, meaning that I'm no longer focusing on my tank being full. My focus is on your tank being full. And what it also does is it keeps you from keeping your own score as it relates to your spouse.
Wow.
So you won't really get an answer about their tank until you ask them.
Right.
And then when they tell you if it's less than anything than full, your job is to fill it up.
And that is learning to speak that language. And, you know, and I have to say, you're going to be uncomfortable. It's going to probably be a challenge to learn to speak your spouse's love language. But let me tell you, it is a challenge worth taking on.
Oh, yes, because it'll be like you're cheating. Because all of a sudden, yeah, it'll be like you're cheating. It was like when we got that love language thing together, I was like, who are you?
Oh, okay, I get it now.
You know,
okay.
she was a different person. She was what I kind of envisioned and sort of dreamed about and expected. And I didn't know, I just wasn't communicating with her in a way that allowed that to really show and spring forth. So, whew, I just can't hardly think, but it was good.
But, you know, what he says next is, what you're about to read has the potential of saving thousands of marriages, and it can even enhance the emotional climate of a good marriage. Whatever the quality of your marriage is now, it can always be better. That's why Charles and I wanted the theme of this year to be ascending to new heights in love, with love, through love, growing, learning more about each other. Because no matter how much you know, there's more to get to know.
I tell you what, because you do not want to run on an empty love tank. That's like running a car with absolutely no oil. The engine is going to break down.
Wow.
But then he gives a warning, Sybil.
Warning.
Understanding the 5 love languages and learning to speak the primary love language of your spouse may radically affect his or her behavior. People behave differently when their emotional love tanks are full.
And it goes back to what you said earlier about how, you know, because I noticed when I began to speak your love language, you were a different person. You know, you were still Charles, but our relationship felt different. You know, when I walked into the house, it just felt different. When we would drive somewhere, you know, it was just, and I understand an emotional love tank. And I began to understand it even more during those times.
Yeah, we were losing the tightness.
Yeah, it wasn't so tight. You know, you could just be tight. You know, your relationship is tight.
As somebody else said, a little tenderness. Things were tender and tight.
Tender and tight. T-N-T.
Yeah, I'm telling you. You know,
T-N-T.
I was just walking on eggshells. But this will begin to, I'm telling you, it can begin to work right away. But you've got to understand how to work it. You've got to understand what to expect. And you've got to be willing, as Sybil said earlier, to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that's when you'll see a change begin to occur, not only in your spouse, but you'll begin to see a change occur in yourself.
Now, before we actually get into the 5 love languages, on our next session, we're going to address another important and sometimes confusing event that happens, and that's called the euphoric experience of falling in love.
Oh, that was a good one. When I read that, I was like, so that's what that was. I never figured it out. Boy, it's going to be eye-opening.
Yes,
I
it
guarantee
is.
you.
Yes, it is.
So, until next time, don't forget, check us out on strikingconversations.com. We're also on Twitter, and we have a great Facebook page. Mama also on strikingconversations.com has a great blog. What is it about, Mama?
It's 365 days of 2010, and it's just a place where we can go and just talk about our day, what we were feeling, what happened during the day, what kind of challenges we went through. So come on out there and blog with me. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be great. We're excited, and we will see you then. So until next time, don't forget, we love you.
Bye-bye.